State Farm inspection, Mr. Keith Thompson. I just kind of wanted to go over what you guys sent us. So the way I understand the estimate, you've paid to replace this section of roofing here, going down to the end of the house, and this section of roofing here. It was said there was no storm damage on this side of the house whatsoever. There was no storm damage on the back slope of the house whatsoever. Just kind of wanted to do a video for you guys to somewhat kind of go over what we're seeing out here on site. So we have absolute direct hail impacts on our box vents here, which means with the slope of this roof, these hail impacts would have to come in and hit in this direction to create denting on this side of the roof, because this roof slope is as steep as it is. So see if I can find a couple of good reference points of hail damage to the roof here. I've not done any type of manipulation to the shingle whatsoever. Okay, right here, we have a very soft fiber there, squishy. It is indented to the touch, which creates, to my knowledge, would be matting being bruised. You can see another one right here. There's a hail impact. You can see that is squishy as I press down on it. That is as a result of the impact coming down, hitting this, creating that cavity behind this bruising, which allows this shingle to flex like this. So that would be some hail damage. Just kind of a little bit of reiteration on that. There's also a significant amount of wind damage on the back slope of this roof. Got some more here. Here, there's a creased, and a few more that I haven't marked. Just kind of wanted to go over that. For the rear slope of the house, also up here, I wanted to show this shingle here is blown off. This one is completely removed. You can see the fibers poking out. It has been tore off from wind. Straight line winds have creased that shingle. There's also another spot here that has ripped off with the Accolade and the entire piece there. And the final thing I wanted to go over was the way that we have to install these roofs to ensure that they are leak proof. In the state of Georgia, there is a law. States if we do absolutely any kind of construction work, repairs, replacements, anything like that, over the cost of $2,500 on somebody's property, we have to warranty this for at least 1 year. Here's the problem with us warranting this. If we tear this slope right here off, because we've only been provided payment for this slope right here and this slope right here. Now, it makes sense that this slope comes down, the front slope that's been paid for, comes down and goes underneath this slope in the valley. So to get all of these shingles out of here, we have to remove a portion of this. Now, the good thing is this has been paid for. So we're covered in this vicinity. When we come over here, we have the same problem with this slope. The front slope comes down and resides underneath this left-hand slope. It's the same thing all the way around the roof. So the problem is we're gonna have to remove a portion of this left slope, in which also has storm damage on the far side over there, to be able to remove every shingle off of this front, to be able to put it back properly to where we would be able to warranty it. Not to mention, we've got to put valley protection in here. It's Georgia law that we have to put some sort of valley protection in there, whether it's Valley Metal or Ice and Water Shield, when we replace these things. Also, for our warranty's sake, I couldn't imagine replacing any of this without putting some form of protection in here, because when it leaks in 2 to 3 months, we're gonna have to come back out here and fix it again. And it's not ideal for the situation of us as the contractors doing the job, or them as the homeowners living in the house. Also, this spot right here, Georgia law also states that any transition in slope, this is technically a valley. So again, we need some sort of valley protection put through here to make sure that when the water is coming down off the slope as quick as it's going to be, and it hits this transition, that there isn't anything getting underneath this lower slope here, because there is going to be a lot of water traffic coming down through here. Also, let's see, what else is there? Also, we have to overlap our felt paper. Just like on hips, we have to do that on ridges, because if we don't do that, and water intrudes, you can already see how this is kind of flattening out. So if water gets to where it starts to sit right here, because it's not super pointy, then essentially water could start protruding up underneath some of these hip and ridge shingles. So when we do these and we don't install ridge vent on top, in which case this one does not, so it will be installed back like this. In which case, if we don't wrap the felt paper from this slope over the top onto this slope, if water intrudes through here, it's going to create a potential leak inside of the homeowner's home. In which case, if we do that here, we do that on the front slope, we do it on that slope, then we're going to have this entire run of ridge shingles as a potential leak. We're going to have that entire run of ridge shingles as a potential leak. This entire run of ridge shingles as a potential leak. And essentially what it's going to do is it's going to cause us to be warranting something that is just not installed properly. That's not the manufacturer's specifications. That's not Georgia code. That nothing about it is the way that it's supposed to be installed. And what that's going to do is it's going to cause the homeowner to have worse future problems than they do right now, because it's going to be an improper install. It's going to cause them to not be able to have you guys help them out, or not have you guys even be able to insure the home, because of how improperly done this is going to be if we only replace these few sections of roof. Now, so there's that much right there. I do not see any way, shape, or form that this roof is going to be able to be repaired. So, and again, if you guys need evidence of that, I would be more than happy to do a repairability test on this and send it in to you guys. But pretty much what I'm getting at is just off of the way that this roof is supposed to be installed. When you replace slopes off the roof, felt paper has to overlap ridges. It has to overlap hips. We have to put some sort of valley protection in the valleys. We have to get all these shingles here out from under these shingles here, in which case there's a section right here like that. There's a section like that over there on the other side of that, on the other side of this. And then of course, when we pull off the back slope, it'll be the same situation for the small little witch's tower down here. So essentially, just wanted to send you guys a video for a little bit of extra consideration that might show you a little bit more in depth of the way that this roof is laid out, rather than just the photos that you were sent. But I appreciate the consideration. This is Brantley Womack with ProComp Roofing, and we look forward to hearing back from you. Thank you.